Unit 6. Let's go ahead and build a dental payment application. I already made my Unit 6. I created a class called dental payment, and here we are. These are the things that we are going to need to build this dental payment. So go right ahead right now, pause the video, get all the things that we need, all the instance variables that we are going to need to build this dental payment. And what I want you to do is import everything. All right, if you're back here, that means you're all done. So I'm going to go down now and look at the constructor. Constructor, same name as the class, dental payment. Open and close parenthesis here. Public, nothing in between here. And we're going to call create user interface. I did all the math for setting up everything, so I have the math here. Let's not worry about that too much. If anything is off, by the way, when we're building this, we just fix it. So we're going to do all this in the user interface, I know, but no, we don't have all the setups. So what I'm going to do, go to Unit 5 and get your mortgage calculator. Okay, again, we're in the dental payment here. Go to the mortgage calculator and let's grab all the stuff we did before. We're not going to type that up again. We did all that work. That's why we did it. So I'm going to take everything that's here. Okay, set up the button. I'm not so sure I need a text area and a scroll, but I'm going to still grab every single thing. If I could always take things out after, all the way down, coming all the way down here. Oh, I'm not going to take the calculate monthly payment because I'm not doing that. So I'm going to stop right after the button action. Again, to do that, you hold the shift key and click right next to this little curly brace here. So what I just highlighted was all the methods that I already did in the mortgage. All of it. So I'm going to do a copy. Okay, Command C for Mac, Control C for Windows. Then I'm going to go back to my dental payment and I'm going to paste it at the end. So again, I'm just finishing up here. So you can see my create user interface method, and that's where it ends. I'm not going to go inside of that. I'm going to go outside of that. I'm going to paste everything. Yeah, I might get some errors and stuff, but I'm not worried about that. Now I'm going to look back and see what is it that I want, what is it I don't want. Okay, so let's take a look here. We want the content pane, check. Label, check. Text field, check. Button, check. Text area, nah, not so much. I don't want this and this because I don't have a text area. How do I know that? Well, if I scroll up to the top, if you look at all the things we just had here, we wanted labels, text field, checkbox, new one. We got to set that up. And, you know, we don't have any scrolling and stuff. So I'm going to get rid of those. So yes, I highlight them and hit delete. Gone. I need the window. I know I need to change the name and probably the size, but that's not a big deal. And I also do need the button because it's going to calculate action. Yeah, I don't want all this. Yeah, because I'm not doing an amortization. Okay, I'm going to leave this error message. And so far, so good. Now you realize I don't have a main method. So this is not an app. This is not an app. Okay, we're going to start going into classes. Okay, I don't want the text area and the scroll pane imports either. Just nicely tighten up my code. So this is not an app because there's no main method. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to create one. So here we go. In Unit 6, I am going to create a new class. See, I'm clicking on class here. And I'm going to call it main. Now this is a quite a little different in terms of how we've been doing things. I want to separate the main from the actual app. This is where we started to separate things out. As the course go on, we're going to make even more classes. Okay, so this guy here is going to be my driver. That's what it's called, and all that's going to be in there is a main method. See, I'll check that. So the main method is the only guy in this main. This is going to be my driver. This is what's going to run my app. So I'm going to write the code in here to run the app. So it's dental payment, and again, I'm going to do this going forward. So you could see I'm making a dental payment app here, and then I'm going to set the default close operation. So all the stuff we've done before, I'm just separating it now. Okay, so that exit and close. So I'm done with my main. Okay, nice and easy like that. If I want to run the app, I'm running it from here. But I'm going to go back to my dental payment. I don't need the mortgage anymore, so I'm going to close that from up here. Now I have my dental payment. So let's go in and see what all we need to do. Well, we need to set these things up, but let me come down here and see what is it that, well, this is not a mortgage calculator. This is a dental payment. So let's make that change. And you realize when you write good code, it's called reusable. The word is reusable. The window is different. I have the bounds here, so I better might as well connect those two and change this up. And let's see if we could change this up. See, I just copied it and I'm going to paste it here. Obviously, different window. Calculate button is good. Everything else is good. All right, let's just go setting up. See how quick that was? Nice and easy. Set up the content pane is first. So I'm going to go this dot set up the content pane. See how nice and easy that is? Next one, dental payment is a label. So I'm going to copy that and I'm going to hit enter and say equal to this dot set up the label. I'm not going to worry about these because I'm just going to set them all up. I'm not going to worry about it. Patient's next. Copy and equal to this dot set up the label. So I'm doing this nice and quick. The text field is next. You're the patient name. So let me set you up. This dot. Whereas the code completion tends to pick up the right one. It sees the text field, so it sets up the text field. Nice. We like that. All right, so now the checkbox. I don't have one for that, so I'm going to skip that one. The label I have one for is the clean one. Let's go and do that. Copy, paste it here, and let's set that up. This dot setup. The minute you start writing setup, it's going to pick the right one. System is that clever. We don't have a checkbox yet. We do have another label to set up. Let's set this one up. This is how you should be writing your code. Once you write good code, you can reuse it. Every time you're writing, you must write code that's reusable. See, all I need is to make a checkbox, and I'm a little bit to set up all these. So let's go ahead and check out the next label. Obviously, because I did the work already, that's what makes this easy. So never delete code. Instead, go ahead and keep your code and reuse it. Alright, so now I have all my labels set up. Text field to set up to. So total text field is going to be set up. And you should go ahead and pause the video at this point and see if you can set them all up. Okay, if you could go ahead and set them all up, that would be great. This is something that we been doing from since the start. You should be pros at this by now. So set up the button. Look how it picks up the right one. Here we go. Set up the window. Let's do this dot. Set up window. Okay, so now we have all these things set up. I want to make one for my checkbox because we don't have any checkbox, right? We don't have any checkbox set up. So I'm going to scroll down. I know I have a lot of errors in here, but I'm not worried. I'm going to scroll down right after my text field, actually, right here between my text field and my button. Be careful not to be inside the block for the method. Go outside. And I set it up. Private J checkbox. I'm going to set up checkbox. All right. Now, if you look carefully how these are written, you could tell that the checkbox right here that we're trying to set up is pretty similar to these. So one thing you could do is if you write your code nicely, you could go ahead and copy this, right? I know it's not a text field, I know, but I'm going to copy that, put that in here. So I'm going to change this to checkbox. So I'm doing here, making my code, I'm going to call this checkbox. So let's see. We're going to set up the checkbox. So let's do that. Checkbox equal new J checkbox. Nothing with code is once you start writing code, you realize that it's kind of a flow. Everything tends to be pretty much the same. Checkbox, set your bounds. All the things that you did before in the text field, same idea. I'm not going to do in the font and all that and stuff like that. I'm going to put some text on it. Checkbox. I'm just going to go ahead and set the text. And then I'm going to add it to the content pane. Checkbox. and then I'm going to return it. Okay, did set up my checkbox. See, yeah, I could have done a couple of fancy things here, but I didn't bother. I just left it like that. Now I have my checkbox. Let's go ahead and set those up. Why not? So here's a checkbox that needed setting up. Is the cavity one. It's a dental payment application. See, now that I made my setup checkbox, you see it's choosing that one. Here's another checkbox that needs to be set up. And then I have another one, I think, at the bottom. Let's see. Oh, one at the top. So I missed this one. So let's go ahead and set this one up. And it's this dot setup checkbox. All right, the bounds. So I already calculated them. So let's go ahead and set these things up. Copy. I'm going to put this guy where the label is. That's the one I'm setting up. The text on it is going to be dental payment form. All right, the X, the Y, the width, and height. Let me get rid of this Explorer here. No window, I don't need it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my bounds in. Now, if these bounds don't actually work, because I actually did my calculations before, if they don't work, I'll just make a little bit of changes, that's all. So I'm doing the bounds. Let's go ahead and do the bounds. You should be able to do this quickly as well. So I'm putting in all my bounds here. And once I'm done, I'm going to run the app just to make sure everything looks good. And if it doesn't look good, I make some changes. That's all. So, and one thing here is because this was already written, because I wrote these already, it makes me feel confident in knowing that they work because I saw them working on the mortgage calculator, on all the other apps we've done. So right now, just putting in my bounds. The window bounds are already in, so it's already completely set up. All right, now I gotta just go ahead and put in the component. So my components are gonna go in. See what I'm doing here? You could really just put whatever value that needs to be set up in the right spot. And I'm doing basically taking the guy on the left and dropping him in the method to be set up. And when he's set up, the value gets returned right back to the guy you're setting up, so he's all set. I'm almost done with this. All right, so now I have my stuff set up. Then I have some text. So sometimes I'm going to need text and sometimes I don't need text depending on what I'm setting up. For these values here, I'm going to put on some text on them. So the patient name is going to clearly be the patient name. Uppercase, patient name. The other one, actually no, I'm not going to put a colon. I'm just going to write their names. The other one is the patient name, their text field. I don't want to put anything in that. I'd rather you type in the actual name. This checkbox is going to be for cleaning, so I'm put cleaning here. This other one here is the price for this label, so I'm going to put price. Let me write cleaning price. If this is not good enough when I run it, then I'll just make changes. So what's the other one? Cavity fill-in checkbox. Cavity. And then the other one is the price for the cavity. So cavity price. I'm just going to make up some prices for these as well. I don't know the going rate for these things in the dentist's office, but the x-ray one, I'm going to write x-ray. And for this one, I'm going to write the x-ray price. Keep getting a lowercase p, it needs to be uppercase. Total, I'm going to call this total. And the text field for the total, I'm not going to put anything here. I think I might want to make this uneditable, so I'm going to go back and check that just to make sure. So now I think I've set up everything. Let's see if I have anything here. Oh, the button needs something on it. Let's do calculate. Okay, so I think I have everything set up. I don't know how it looks. I made the all calculations before for these things, so I don't know if it's gonna look right. But I'm looking through to make sure I don't have any big errors. Yeah, I didn't add the action to the button and all that next, but let me just go ahead and run this and see what it looks like. So run it. All right. So we have a bunch of things going on here. We have a number of issues with our values here. You can tell that this is too small and so on and so forth. So, but let me just make the changes on this. So why don't I make these size 12 font instead and see what happens. And because my calculations were off, then I could go ahead and change them. That's fine. All right, the patient name looks good. Dental form kind of on the left a little bit. This and these are kind of there, but not necessarily shown. So we gotta kind of fix this up. So let me go ahead and see what can I do if I make the x coordinate. So let me run it again. All right, so let me look at the cleaning one. Cleaning is right here. This checkbox is here. Oh, by the way, if you don't know what a checkbox is, it's something that you could check and uncheck. This cleaning one right here, the cleaning price, is maybe a bit too far over. Okay, 211. So I'm going to go ahead and play around with that only. How about if I make this 100? What would that look? The cleaning price. Run it again. All right, so it brought it all the way over here, right? But it made it so that it's too close to this. So, you know, that's 100. Run it again. I'm messing up this thing is. Okay. Seems like 200 is too far as well. 50. And again, you're supposed to make these calculations before we start up. Even though we make calculations before, that, you know, you don't get necessarily to get it right every time. So let me go ahead now and instead of putting on the cleaning price as a word, why don't I put the cleaning price as the actual price, right? So instead of doing this messing around, since are off and try to do that, let me say the cleaning price. I was gonna put the price after this like this, but it looked like it's gonna be too cumbersome, so not a good design. Let me say to make a cleaning, you have to pay $100. Maybe the cavity price is gonna be $300, and maybe the X-ray price is going to be $500. Let's run that and see how it looks now. All right, looks okay. So with that set up there, the 100 is kind of too far to the left, so I gotta make that. And this dental premise should be a little bit more centered. So to be 150, I think this was 211. Let me go ahead and try that. Run it again. All right, they look a lot better. The dental form needs to go across some, and I need to make this so we can't edit the value, right? It doesn't make sense to have a total down here that's editable. So I'm gonna make the dental payment go across. Is at 19. So why don't I push this a little bit over? Maybe 100. Let's run it again. All right, too far over. Too far over. Yeah. There's 50. A little better, but not exactly where I want it. Is 70. A little bit better. And I'm doing this because sometimes when you're designing something, you're kind of in your mind trying to figure out where to put things. your math's a little off, you could always mess around and play around with this, okay? So one thing I want to do here now is to change the total. I won't want it editable, right? That won't be good. So the total text field, this guy right here, I don't want it editable. So I'm going to make it so you can't change the total. Dot set editable to false. We're going to run it again. Alright, I can't edit the total. My checkboxes are good. The patient name could go in. Okay, everything is good here. Alright, so we'll pause this, and on the back side of this, actually let me line up these things nicely. Make sure you keep your code nice and neat. This is very important. Very important to me. It's supposed to be very important to you. Things are lined up nicely. On the back end of this, in the second video, we'll go ahead and do all our actions, connect our actions, run the app, see it working. That will be it.